And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio. If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We're recording now live till 5, and then we'll post it up on YouTube, so you can come by later and do a call letter search for KC9VKV. That's Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page, where we're now featuring about 1,200 QSO-VLOG air checks. Also this afternoon we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers monitoring Rochester, New York, Milford, Pennsylvania, Atlanta, Georgia, and Arlington, Virginia, trying to get a better copy on our 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also on this selector is our local receiver audio. And today our local receiver is running 2 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed north and south, the other east and west. The north and south mag loop can be rotated. They are selected by a 3-position rotary selector. Position 3 of this selector is a co-phase option that many times is 3 to 4 dB hotter than mag loop 1 or 2 by themselves. We do use a lot of rotary selectors in our shack, mainly because there's nothing faster than a rotary switch for comparing multiple signals. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator, so when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube QSO-VLOG video. Well, those are our working conditions. How about yours? This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. And now let's check in and see if Charlie, K1GZL, is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Charlie, got a copy?
Yes, Jim, beautiful copy, peaking 10/9 direct. As I don't have any SDR capabilities here. Beautiful, beautiful copy, Jim, where it's mostly sunny, a few scattered clouds, and it's up to 80 degrees up here. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Now, I gotta ask you, how are the mosquitoes and the black flies? Are they about done for?
The black flies, are they about done for?
Yeah, believe it or not, there are a few bugs, but not many. It's to the point you can actually go out in short sleeves and really not get bitten much. So that season is pretty well past us, and I'm very happy. As far as 40-meter propagation goes, I did have a short but nice contact with Ian down there in southeastern Australia at Melbourne, or northwest of Melbourne, about 55 miles, 80 kilometers, and it was good, although we had a lot of sporadic short skip at the same time, which does cut down some of the signal to Australia, with the E layer being half the height of the F and doing some absorbing. But I think I have Ian on here. If I have a connection and let's go on me here, but I hope it'll work. Wait a minute.
Pretty well here at the moment, John. And while it's good, Jude. While here, Charlie north very strongly. I think that we'll just say Charlie north, so you'd like. Chris, I'll say 73 to you.
Okay, and that was a little bit of WH30 in the last couple of words. So that was the copy from Australia this morning, 10,500 miles. By the way, next week I might have a little recording of Captain Mike, Aeronautical Mobile. He starts his flying next Tuesday, late in VKV, K1G's at
Roger, Roger. Charlie, well, I have gone around the horn as far as the SDRs, and you're like 10 to 15 over on all the every SDR I checked in with. So you are around the country for sure right at the moment, Roger.
For sure, right at the moment, Roger.
Well, we tried, Jim. We can't do much more than that, but just give it a whack. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Now, all your antennas are working in good shape?
Antennas are working in good shape?
Yeah, they appear to be. We had a very interesting thing yesterday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday. The 23rd, we had a downpour that from start to finish was about 10 minutes, but the heaviest part was only 5 or 6 minutes, and it dumped a little over 1/2 inch of rain. In that time, it was a blinding rain, and Bob up the road, KB1IZU, about 1,600 feet north of me, didn't get hardly any. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Well, Mother Nature is being particularly pinpointing her activity as far as getting some moisture on your head, Roger.
Getting some moisture on your head, Roger.
Oh yeah, we have to keep riding with the climate.
Roger. Well, Charlie, listen, thank you for checking by, and we appreciate it as always. And you have a really splendid weekend coming up, Roger.
Roger.
Roger, and I certainly hope we'll have a nice contact with you next Friday, and we might have Captain Mike aboard here. On the cassette. Okay, Jim, 7-3, and you are coming in very, very well.
Coming through. Thank you for checking by, and we appreciate it as always. And you have a really splendid weekend coming up, Roger.
Okay, Roger, Jim, and that is copying you direct. 7-3. Catch you next week, hopefully. A1ZZL. Bye for your final.
Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate that, sir. Your signal is just beautiful, and really appreciate your copy in the mail on those other entities, and then repeating, getting them on tape and, playing them back so we can all hear the contact. So 3's that way, Charlie. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. Just a reminder, this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG Network. My name is Jim, KC9VKV, and I'm better known in some circles as Dr. VKV. We are recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. And on that page, you'll be looking for one QSO-VLOG in particular entitled My Group Aircheck 7/24/20. My Group Aircheck 7/24/20, which is today's date. This is KC9VKV listening.
VKV listening.
Kilo November 4, Sierra Mike Oscar.
Kilo November 4 station, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo November 4, Sierra Mike Oscar.
Sierra Mike Oscar, Roger, Roger, what's the name there?
Sierra Mike Oscar, Roger, Roger, what's the name there?
My name is Scott, and I'm not sure you got my call right. Kilo November 4, Sierra Mike Oscar.
Sierra Mike Oscar, Roger, I thought that's what I said. I'm just repeating the latter half for expediency. What radio are you running, Scott?
What radio are you running, Scott?
QSO-991A. I have the Heil Pro 7 set. All of my what the recommendation is from the Heil website. I am set up currently for the DX. I have the DX mic on, and my bandpass filter is set at between 400 and 2600 hertz. Over.
Roger. Now, we recommend that you run that radio in the widest response bandpass possible, mainly looking at 100 to 2900. When you start reducing your bandpass, the first thing you lose is the top end intelligibility in your transmit, and you don't want to do that because when you're in a pileup or when you're under somebody's noise level, you want all of the articulation that you can muster so they can hear what you're saying. They can hear the words, not just your voice. And not a lot of times, if you're not running a very articulated audio, then all they can hear is this kind of blur noise. It sounds like a voice underneath the noise or in the QRM pileup. So what you want to do is to keep as much articulation as you can on your radio. So which means trying to run that radio 100 to 2900, Roger.
100 to 2900, Roger.
Roger, I've just changed it to 100 to 2900. Does that sound better for contesting of the pileup to you? Over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have a sharp EQ going, but if you roll it off by reducing your bandpass, you're shooting yourself in the foot. So I think the way you are now, you are taking full advantage of your radio and the EQ and the whole shebang, Roger.
And the EQ and the whole shebang, Roger.
Roger. So I've given you 2 different tests, so I'll be able to check that on your channel. Over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But the main thing is also that you try to maintain your ALC at mid-scale to 2/3, because as much as you would like to bang on out there, you still want to try to maintain a 3 dB dynamic range, because that dynamic range helps also in your intelligibility. You can get such thing as too loud. That is, if you hit your ALC too hard and you reduce your dynamic range to about a dB, that becomes like blurry. You're loud, but you're blurry, so therefore it's taking away from your intelligibility, Roger.
Roger.
Roger. Okay, I will reduce my ALC a little bit. I'm right at the recommended level, what I thought is between 7 and 9. Over.
Roger. Well, our normal generic setup is mid-scale to 2/3 on the ALC. We run the compressor at a 3, and we suggest running the compressor at a 3, and then move to your ALC and set up through mic gain your ALC to be running mid-scale to 2/3.
Roger. Okay, I'm backing it off a little bit as we speak. Is that better? Sound a little clear? Let's see here. A little better or a little worse? Over.
Not quite 3 dB dynamic range, about 4. So you could be just a little hotter into your ALC. You don't want to be into the red on your ALC, but you want to be running between mid-scale and 2/3.
Mid-scale and 2/3.
Roger. Now, you might check your frequency. I think you might have bounced off frequency just a tad. I'm not sure. Or you changed your voice. I'm not real sure.
I bumped the frequency dial. So does this sound a little better or worse? Over.
Oh, that sounds good. You were off slightly, Roger.
Does this sound a little better to you? Over.
Yes, sir. I think you've got it right there. I think you've nailed it. I would have a buying committee on that for sure. It looks to be about a 3 dB dynamic range, Roger.
A 3 dB dynamic range, Roger.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I appreciate it. I'll let you get on to somebody else. 73s. I'll look for the call on or the recording and check it out in a couple days. Thanks so much. KN4SMO clear.
Roger, Scott. And what's your location again, please?
I'm
in South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina. Over.
Roger. And your radio one more time?
Yaesu FT991 Alpha.
Roger, Scott. Thank you, sir. Threes to you, and have a great weekend. And again, you know the drill about getting to YouTube and our QSO-VLOG page.
QSO-VLOG page.
Sure, I'll find it. No problem.
Roger, Roger. The magic number is 72420. Today's date. My group Aircheck 72420. Threes to you, Scott. Thanks for dropping by. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday when we do this thing again. Have a great weekend. This is KC9VKV. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Got a radio you want to check out? Give me a shout. November 9, Echo Alpha Whiskey. Romeo, November 7.
November 9, Echo Alpha Whiskey. This is KC9VKV. What's the name there?
KC9VKV. What's the name there? Hi, Jim. We've talked before on a previous radio. My name is Tom. Tango Oscar Mike. Rig is an ICOM IC7300. And 100 watts into a 94-foot doublet up at 60 feet. Jim, go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Now, what mic are you using on that radio?
Roger, now, what mic are you using on that radio? I'm using the factory-supplied hand mic. ALC looks to be about right around mid-scale 2/3. Could actually be a little lower. There we go. That's about mid-scale to 2/3. It's the compressor set at 3. TDW on the audio, 100 to 2900 hertz. Over.
Yes, that hand mic is just so beautiful, and again, just to the corner of your mouth, actually touching your mouth, and you're talking across it. That solves so many problems as far as the possible mouth noises, and also the equalization is just perfect when it's touching the side of your mouth as you're speaking across it.
Side of your mouth as you're speaking across it. Yeah, roger that. I think. Can't remember where my EQ is set. It might be a +2 on the bass and a +1 on the treble, and that seemed to sound pretty good to me through my local monitors. And just wanted to tell you for a speaker on receive, I'm using an iLoud speaker made by IK Multimedia of Italy. Nice little Bluetooth speaker, and pumped through the audio output of this radio. It just sounds glorious. Over.
Roger, Roger. Now, what you really want to do is make sure that you can reproduce stuff below 100 cycles, because that is the kick of this band, or any band. When you have the full fidelity, you listen to the 7300 in context with the speaker in the box, and that sounds great, but it's only about half of what is really there. So the thing is, when you pull that audio out of the 7300 into another speaker, I have found that it actually takes a subwoofer to be able to reproduce those frequencies down around 60 cycles, 70, 80 cycles linearly, or correctly, Roger?
Correctly, Roger. Roger that. Yeah, the speaker's good down to about 55 to 65. So I'm hearing just about everything I need to. I got to tell you, I've plugged other radios into this speaker just through the analog speaker out, and none of them have as pristine an audio path going to the speaker as the 7300. I think that has a lot to do with the fact that they digitized the entire path as far as all that goes. And I know they've done it on transmit also, so having an SDR does have its advantages. Over.
Roger. Now, I did run the 7300 for about 3 months because my Elmer made it possible for me to have one. And first off, you want to run that 7300 in filter 1. You want to run that 7300 in filter 1, which is the equivalent to no filtering at all. That's their no filter position. You want to run it in 100 to 2900, and you don't want to run it in noise reduction, and you don't want to run it in what is the other thing? Noise blank. You don't want to do that. You just want to keep that radio just as pristine as you can. And you are exactly right about that frequency capability. I've observed 2 or 3, 4, 5 times folks that are generating audio in at 100 cycles or slightly below, and that radio just does a magnificent job of handling those lower frequencies. Roger?
Roger that. Yeah, that's exactly how I'm running it. Filter 1, 3.6K, wide open, sharp mode instead of soft. Soft kind of muffles it a bit, makes it a little bit rounder. Sharp mode, 3.6, no noise blanker, no noise reduction, and a healthy amount of audio into the actual speaker also. Not too much, but enough to make it work. And I'm just amazed at the fact that there's no noise at low audio levels, low volume levels, like just about every analog radio. Even if you have a headset on, you turn down the volume and you can hear a little hiss in the background because of the audio amps, and not on this radio. And I'm very impressed by the entire architecture of the radio.
Roger. Well, we kind of run radios a little different here because we're looking to get the best recording possible. We are running our RF AGC outside of compression, just at the bottom of compression where there is none. So we have reduced our RF gain to where signals coming in by and large are not being AGC'd at all. And so when one speaks, you hear the word, and then as when they don't speak, there is no rush of noise, channel noise up. It's just a consistent background level all the way through. Roger.
Roger that, exactly. Boy, that's a nice linear way of doing things. I'm going to let you go, and I'll be anxious to see how this radio's audio compares with an earlier recording that you made, an FTX 3000 Yaesu. So I'll be able to put the YouTube videos side by side and listen in and hear the difference. So 73, Jim, and thanks for having me. KC9VKV from N9EAW. You have a good weekend.
Roger, Tom, and I have been copying you on the Milford PASDR. And could I have your location one more time?
Roger that. It's New Berlin, Wisconsin. And it's about 15 miles west of the city of Milwaukee, southeast Wisconsin.
Sounds good, Tom. Thank you so very much for checking in. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday for our edition as we go from 3:30 till 5, recording all the time. And so for folks that have a radio that they want to check out, give me a shout. We are recording now. Alrighty, for some reason, I have 3 dead SDR machines. I don't know why. I have no response to that, so I have to bring them back up again, and we shall try it again. This is KC9VKV. I do have Milford available, but I heard nobody on Milford, so let me bring this one back up. This is Georgia, and I don't know why Rochester. I've got a password for Rochester. Why would Rochester be down? Interesting. Maybe I had a Wi-Fi problem. Sounds like maybe that's what it was. For 3 of them to go down is pretty much a Wi-Fi situation. So I have not been having too many problems running 4 SDRs on one Wi-Fi feed. But today definitely it did have a problem. Let me see here. Get these back up. Just take a minute, folks. Sorry for the inconvenience, but I kind of live and breathe now with the SDRs. today just seems more like a situation of being able to utilize the SDRs versus my local antenna. All right, we're back up and running now, all four. Yay, running. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Delta Bravo.
Something Indian Bravo. Come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign, please.
Slowly, phonetically with your call sign, please.
Roger, this is November 9, Kilo Delta Bravo. Handle is Eric, Echo Romeo India Charlie from Indianapolis, Indiana. Go ahead.
Roger. What was the name again?
What was the name again?
Eric, Echo Romeo India Charlie. Eric, over.
Roger, Eric. Roger, and you're up in Indy?
Eric, Roger, and you're up in Indy?
Sure am, Jim. Just up I-65 from you there, over.
Roger. What radio are you running, sir?
Roger. What radio are you running, sir?
I'm running a ICOM 7300. Seems like everybody has one. And into the Pro 781 Heil microphone. And that all runs into an AL811 Maritron amplifier into an NFET half-wave. Probably the ATEC's about 30 feet oriented kind of north, east, southwest there, over.
Roger, Eric. Everything looks good, except I would go to my EQ and crank in about 2 more clicks to top end. Do you know where your EQ is on that 7300?
Where your EQ is on that 7300?
I sure do here. Let me get to that point here, and we'll get right back with you.
Sorry?
I went 2 clicks up on the treble there, over.
Go one more.
Alrighty, there's +3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over.
Alrighty, and then tell me about your antenna system.
It's just way. Feet long or so, fed at the end there on a 49-to-1 transformer. Starts here at the house, about 12 feet up, and then goes into a tree about 35, 40 feet up, and then ends down towards the creek, probably about 20 feet up in the air. I'm kind of lucky I have this kind of a setting here in a suburb here of Indianapolis. Many people have a lot inside. It goes back into a common area there. Pretty good antenna for what we can have here.
Oh, roger that. Well, I checked some of my other SDRs. Georgia, you're doing great down in Georgia. Milford and Rochester, all 3 of those you're doing real well, Roger. Well, I appreciate that there, Jim. I had to listen to you through Milford here. Too much noise here on S7 noise level today here with everybody's gadgets turned on around me here. I'm looking at my ALC here. I came back out to that menu. Yeah, it looks like about half to maybe 3/4 here. You think I need to drop the level a little bit, over? No, it looks fine. You're 3 dB, and that's exactly where you want to be. And your EQ is sharper now. Your intelligibility level is up. You had the right dynamics going, but just a little soft on the articulation. So if you go to YouTube and do a call in a search, KC9VKV, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page, and on that page you'll be looking for my group Aircheck 72420, today's date. My group Aircheck 72420, and you'll be able to hear yourself, Roger. Oh, very good, very good. Thank you, Jim. I sure appreciate it, and I did look at some of the videos, and also checked out some of your radio things there. I'm kind of into that. I'm a TV guy myself, working here at the NBC affiliate for some 20 years in engineering, so been enjoying that, so I appreciate that. And well, Jim, I'll let you get going and help somebody else there along. And I appreciate the tweak in there. I always kind of wondered how it sounded. So to somebody over the air.
Well, thank you very much, Jim, and 73 to you, and thanks for the help in KDB.
Roger, Eric. Well, you're doing exceptionally well for having graduated from the hand mic. I mean, that hand mic is just so beautiful. And I'm not sure if folks realize what they have to do to when they go to a desk mic to try to recreate the capability of that hand mic. It just ICOM just has so much beautiful design on that hand mic. It just makes that radio just absolutely come alive, and folks have to spend some bucks and crank up their EQ to match the hand mic out of the box. Thank you, Eric. We'll catch you later, sir, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. Thanks for checking in. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
KC9VKV, this is November, Mike 4 Oscar.
Copy, November 4, Mike Oscar, I believe. Is that correct?
Oscar, I believe. Is that correct? Okay, it's November, Mike 4 Oscar. The name's David, and I'm in Lawrenceburg, North Carolina. Over.
Roger, and I don't know if I'm having a dyslexic moment or not. November, Mike 4 Oscar, is that a correct call?
4 Oscar, is that a correct call? Yes, that's correct. It's a 2x1. I really wanted a 1x2, but the best I could do in the 4-call area.
Yes, sir. Well, you got a good call sign there. I thought that's what it was, but then sometimes I think, no, that wasn't what he said. I copy slowly on phonetics anyway, and because I'm looking for accuracy, and sometimes it. Oh well, but I'm usually correct about 95% of the time. Only occasionally do I have to check with QRZ about something. Used to be in the beginning. I live there, but now I'm kind of doing 5 or 6 things at once, and they're all working out. What's the name there, sir?
All working out. What's the name there, sir? The name's David, and we have talked before several months back. I'm running a 43-foot vertical antenna with a Ballon, and probably 800 watts out. And you sound good. I tune by here every so often, and I've got a number of tips, but still not sure about mine. I think you adjusted this one before.
Yes, sir. I think it looks just fine. You have a dynamic range of about 3 dB, and the equalization, you have a nice articulated audio. I don't know what else. What radio were you running?
What radio were you running? I'm running an Icon 7610 into Expert 1.5 amp, but I'm only running 800 watts. I have it in the medium power level. I think that's enough. Didn't want to overdo it with it. I'm running a vertical, like I said now, and I've enjoyed listening to your verticals and various antennas that you've experimented with over time.
Yes, sir, David. Now, the only thing that if you would check for me, if you go to Quick and go to Drive, and tell me what your level on drive is.
Drive gain is 75%.
Alrighty. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds real good. The stock, they come 50, and then I suggest, usually 60, 65. What it depends on is the person's voice, and sometimes folks need a little extra boost there, so their voice works out and keeps that 3 dB dynamic range. Roger.
Roger. Okay, do I need to go up, down, sideways, or what?
No, sir, I would say that's just perfect. Did I tell you that 75, or did you get that someplace else?
I think the last time we talked, we worked on the audio, and you told me to work on, or I heard you telling someone else to work on talking so that you stayed within a certain level of the AFC, and I've been working on that. Have a ways to go with it, but I'm working on it.
Yes, sir. You're doing real well. I'm just looking here, and it looks really, really nice. I can on my, I have a view meter that's tied to your audio, and I can see precisely what your modulation is doing. And I can see the dynamic range, the way the meter moves, and you've got it going on. Just perfect. I wouldn't change a thing.
That's perfect. I wouldn't change a thing. Okay, thanks a lot. I think I ended up setting a compression of about. But thanks, and it sounds like you have a number of people calling this afternoon. I know you're much in demand. Thanks for coming back to me, and I hope you have a good afternoon. KC9VKV, this is November Mike 4.
Roger. And David, what is your location, please?
David, what is your location, please? Okay, here's somebody else. I'm in Laurinburg, North Carolina, which is probably 30 miles south of Fayetteville or Fort Bragg.
Yes, sir, David. Well, I have spent some time in Fayetteville, Fort Bragg at two stations. This was in the 70s at WFLB in Fayetteville, and at the time WFBS in Spring Lake. I don't know if you're familiar with those stations.
I think I've heard both of them. The call signs sound familiar, and they're AM stations, aren't they?
Oh, yes. My whole life has been AM. I've never worked for an FM station, Roger.
Worked for an FM station, Roger? Okay. Yeah, I remember. One of them's like 6:40 AM, and I'm not sure about the other one.
Both of them were up 1450 and 1490, I think, something like that. I think the FBS station is long gone. FOB, I think, now is Billy Bob Radio or something. I don't know. They change around so much, but and I think it's FM. I think they just use the call sign now on. I think it's Bob Radio on FM now, but WFLB. But anyway, thanks so much, David, for checking in. Appreciate it. If you get a chance, drop by next Friday. We'll be glad to hear you, Roger.
Thanks a lot for coming back. And you always put in a big signal here in North Carolina. So 7-3, thanks a lot. November Mike 4 Oscar.
Roger, David. Hopefully next week, next Friday, you'll be a little quieter. Right now, sounds like we might be having a thunderstorm somewhere. So, but threes to you. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Went around the horn. I just heard somebody on the Georgia SDR. Loudest station, come back and try it again.
Kilo Bravo 3,
I think there was a Kilo Bravo 3. Is that a Roger?
Oh, Bravo 3. Is that a Roger? Name is Ken, and I'm located in Glenarden, Maryland. Over.
Roger, Ken. Come back one more time, slowly, phonetically, with the call sign, please.
Kilo 3, We're putting that over.
Oh, this is did not work too well. I'm trying to contact Ken. Paging Ken. Hello, Ken. KB3 something. Ken, do you copy? Ken, I don't think we're going to make it, buddy. I did not hear you that time. Try one more time. Looking for Ken, K-E-N, Ken, with KB3 something call sign.
Kilo 3 Alpha Charlie, K3AC, Kilo 3 Alpha Charlie, over.
Is this Ken, Alpha Charlie Ken?
Is this Ken, Alpha Charlie Ken?
Negative. The call sign is Kilo 3 Alpha Charlie, name is Bob, Boston Ocean, Boston, over.
Roger, Bob. Well, I was looking for Ken, but I only had half his call sign. So anyway, what's happening, Bob?
Yeah, good afternoon, Jim. Band is up and down here. You're going between an S3 and an S7. So I heard you on there. I've checked into your net before. We are running a different radio and a different microphone here. So apparently the copy isn't too good between us, but we thought we would give you a shout. KC9VKV from K3AC.
Roger, K3AC. And Bob, well, gosh, Bob, I think what we need to do there is maybe get a little bit better top-end EQ. If you know where your equalization is, go to there, and we need a couple of clicks more top-end push. Roger, from where you are. A couple of clicks more EQ top push.
EQ top push.
Yeah, okay. We cut off the low frequency roll-off here on this microphone, and we can do adjustments. We're running external EQ here, and we have the treble pushed up. We are running a little bit of compression. I don't know if that made any difference, but let me know if you saw any difference there. KC9VKV from K3AC.
Roger, Bob. What radio are you running today?
We are running a Flex 6600. Flex 6600. And the microphone is a Papa 40 by Audio-Technica AT, over.
Roger that. Well, you know, our normal generic setup is engage your compressor at about a 3, about a third of its capability. A 3 or a 30 if you have a 0 to 100, or a 3 if you have a 0 to 10. Roger, about a third of the compression capability. Roger.
The compression capability, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Okay, yeah, that's where we have it, Jim. We're running about a third compression on the internal, and we have an EQ mixer in line right now. So we have various things we can do here. Bass, treble, and compression externally as well as internally.
All right, Bob, I would also check now, after you get that compressor in there in line at about a 3, I would move to my ALC with mic gain in hand and adjust my mic gain to where my ALC was running mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 on the ALC by way of your mic gain control. Roger?
Your mic gain control, Roger.
Typically is supply, and it has a peak feature that we have it just below that point. We're running about minus 20 dB and just under the overmodulation point. Over.
Roger, yeah, you want to be sure and stay under the overmod. And I'm copying you now best on the Georgia SDR. What is your location, Bob?
What is your location, Bob?
southeastern Pennsylvania, 35 miles northeast Philadelphia, between Philadelphia and Chattanooga, Tennessee. Over.
Roger that, roger that. Well, I'm copying you about 2 to 3 dB above my noise level. Let me drop down to 100 watts here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 100 watts to give you some idea about how I'm copying you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And back to the KW. Roger that?
And back to the KW. Roger that?
Yeah, you went down into my noise there, Jim, when you turned the amp off. We're peaking here around 1.2 kW. 1.2 kW with the amp, and I'm not going to turn it off because you probably couldn't hear me. Back to you.
Exactly, exactly. I anymore I just use the amp, you know, because you got to be able to be heard for sure. You sounded mighty good that last transmission. I'm copying you better. I don't know whether you increased your power or what happened, but you're more substantial that last transmission.
You're more substantial that last transmission.
Yeah, okay, Jim. I raised it a little bit here. We're pretty close to legal limit. To try to help you pull us out. Band is not the greatest between and your multiple SDR. What are you running there? Over.
Radio is an older FT990. Pretty heavily modified, coming and going into Heathkit SB220 up to dipole, no SWR resonant dipole. Roger, roger.
Resonant dipole. Roger, roger.
Yeah, QSO, very good on the 990. I used to have one of those myself. Excellent radio, and with the SB220. Okay, well, we'll let you carry on. I'm sure there's a lot of other stations calling. I just wanted to say hello. This microphone, by the way, I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's a professional type mic. Previously, we were running a Heil CR781. This mic seems to have a little boost on the high end, around the 2 to 3 KC. It's pretty good for vocals, what they use in the studio. And I listened to it on the internal monitor. It has a switch on it that lets you roll off. You turn the switch on to with the intelligibility there. A little more punch. But that's just on the... Okay, very good, Jim. Thanks very much.
Roger, roger, Bob. Well, I just want to, suggest be sure and be running in your widest bandpass possible, mainly referring to 100 to 2900. That is, I think, the bandpass of choice. It does a beautiful job. You get above that, folks start looking for you with pitchforks. So 2900 is the magic number there. So you're running 100 to 2900. Your radio, I think, just sounds beautiful. When I had a good copy, today is not a good day, and you have been a lot of times just 2 or 3 dB above my noise level, and I'm sure that I'm that way to you. But occasionally you did punch up nice 10 over, and I could really hear, and you were just perfect the way we last had you sounding, Roger.
Roger.
Roger, Bob. Well, I just, about lost you there. I went looking for you on different SDRs and my local antenna and everything else, and I could not find you. So anyway, I think we got some good stuff there, and you'll be able to hear some of it when you peak up. So if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. We're running about 1,200 QSO-VLOG recordings. You'll be looking for one in particular called My Group Aircheck 7/24/20. That's today's date. My Group Aircheck 7/24/20. So 3's to you, Bob. Thanks for checking by. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. Have a beautiful weekend. We'll catch you later. This is KC9VKV, the QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
You want to check out, give me a shout.
Here's somebody on my local antenna, just about 3 dB above or 2 above my noise level. Come back and try it again.
3 Zulu.
Station, try one more time. I just picked you up on Georgia. Try one more time, please.
Kilowatt 3 Zulu.
Kilowatt 3 Zulu, Roger.
Kilowatt 3 Zulu, Roger.
QSL. Good evening there, Jim. I've got you at about 5-7 here in Western Maryland.
Roger, I'm copying you on the Georgia SDR. Who knows? Mother Nature never at a moment of indecision.
Never at a moment of indecision.
Copy that. Yeah, it seems like the band is here on an ICOM 7300. I know you never hear any of those.
I just went to my local antenna, and you're about 12 over there. So what's the name?
Name here is Brandon.
Roger, Brandon, and you say you were in Maryland. Is that a Roger?
Yeah, copy that. I'm on the far western end of the state, High Point, Maryland. I'm at 3,200 foot elevation.
Roger, and what mic are you running on that radio?
Oh, real fancy.
Repeat. I'm sorry, Brandon, try it again.
Copy that. I say I'm running the stock hand mic with this 7300.
Roger, I had you pretty well on my local antenna, but it kind of faded down. Give me 10 seconds about your antenna system, and let me look around for a better path.
So it's, I think, a quarter wave vertical, but sort of like quarter wave elements for the different bands.
Roger there. Brendan, still, I'm having to use the Georgia SDR, and I realize that it probably shouldn't be, but it is giving me about 4 dB above its noise level, and that's the best signal that I've got. Are you running 100 watts? Is that a Roger?
You're running 100 watts. Is that a Roger?
Yep, copy that. That's all I can push currently.
Roger that. And you're using the hand mic, and you're running in the widest possible bandpass, 100 to 2900. Is that a Roger?
100 to 2900. Is that a Roger?
As far as I know, though, I'll be honest, I haven't seen where the bandpass setting is at on this 7300.
Roger, I consult your book. You have 3 selections. I would set them all to 100 to 2900, so it would be impossible to run that radio in any other mode but 100 to 2900. So set all of your bandpass modes to 100 to 2900 when you figure out where they are, Roger.
Okay, copy that.
And I would set my compressor at a 3. I don't know if you are doing that, but we suggest the compressor in line at about a 3, Roger.
In line at about a 3, Roger.
Okay, looks like I had the compressor there to 5 before, so I just knocked that down to 3. Does that sound any better to you?
Yes, sir. It's part of the grand scheme of things that we want to get your radio to a 3 dB dynamic range, which is just ideal. You know, if you consider dynamic range is the difference between the loudest part of your speech and the softest part of your speech. Unprocessed audio has a 10 dB dynamic range. So that is beautiful, but for broadcast or transmit, we want to compress that to about a 3 dB dynamic range, and that's if you go then after you get your inline compressor setting at a 3, move to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand, and just by speaking naturally and normally as you would, adjust your mic level to where your ALC reading is mid-scale to 2/3. You know, you don't want to whistle or any of that. You just want to talk naturally like you normally do, and just adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running mid-scale to 2/3.
Running mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay, copy that there, Jim. Looks like right now I've got my mic gain at 50%. I'm just shy of half, so I'm going to turn that up a little bit here. And it seems like the ALC is still about mid-range, so we're going to go a little bit further. And mic gain up to 100%. The ALC.
Roger, Roger. So you now are mid-scale to 2/3?
You now are mid-scale to 2/3?
Yeah, I'm rated mid-scale.
Just in time, just in time, Brandon. Noise is catching up with you, sir. So I'll say we got it there for the moment, and I would like to get a better copy on you. Come back and tell me something about your radio that you really like best.
The radio that you really like best.
The thing I like best about this radio is compared to the FE897 I was running before, the DSP on the 73 really cuts out the lithium fatigue.
I did copy you right at the end of that on my local antenna. Tell me about your antenna. What kind of SWR are you running without your tuner?
Okay, if I cut the tuner out, I'm a little low on the band here, so I'm at about 1.4 to 1.5, but I've got a nice resonant antenna, and I do pretty well. I'm just under 1.5 across the entire band here.
Alrighty, I just copied you on my local antenna. You had 4 dB above my noise level, so I have enough signal of you to tell what's happening. You have a really nice audio curve. I think you'll like it when you go to YouTube and check it out. Give us a couple of days to get it up to YouTube, but if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page, and we have about 1,200 recorded QSO-VLOGs at the moment. You'll be looking for one in particular called My Group Aircheck 7/24/20, today's date. My Group Aircheck 7/24/20. Roger?
Hey, Roger that, and that's actually how I first found you, was there on YouTube. Finally got a day off here, had a chance to get in, so I'm glad to make contact with you.
Roger, Roger, Brandon. Well, gosh, I think we got it there, sir. Thanks for checking by, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We record live from 3:30 till 5. Glad to have you check in with us, Roger.
We offer great service to the community here, so I'll go ahead and say 7-3, and let's get on to the next fella.
Roger, Roger, Brandon. 3 Z-Ways, sir. Have a great afternoon and beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Well, gosh, nothing heard there. My Milford PA is down again. That sucker, just a full-time job to keep Milford up. I need a password. That would help. Hopefully that would keep us open. Sometimes not, though. Anyway, this is KC9VKV, and again, let's try it. Anybody looking for an Aircheck, give me a shout.
Looking for an Aircheck, give me a shout.
X-ray mic.
Ah, my local antenna, there is an X-ray mic. Come back slowly, phonetically with the call sign, please.
Yes, sir. Kilowatt 4.
ignition. They're switched on a old CS830S. And I've got the processing on. It's just, I fire it up, rig up once in a while, and just blow the cobwebs out of it.
Roger, you say your name was Sean?
John, Denmark, Ontario, Norway.
Okay, you're up and down on my local antenna. Come back about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, and let me look for a better pass.
Alrighty. We're running 50 feet. I've got a couple parallel elements on it for 30 and 20, but she's up at 50 feet up there. Go ahead.
Okay, so my local antenna, but you're coming and going just a little bit. The name is Sean or John?
Don, Denmark, Ontario, Norway. Give me a minute. I can kick the amp on.
Oh, what a splendid idea. My kingdom for you to turn on your amp.
Yeah, it's an old L4B. Give me just a minute.
Yes, sir. Anything for that, yes. Now that is, 500, 600 watts?
Oh, I can get 1,200 out of this one.
Ah, okay. Let's try it. We'll live dangerously on the power curve.
There we go. Yeah, KC9VKV, K4 Zulu X-ray, Mike.
Yes, sir. Now we're talking. Don, where are you located, sir?
I'm over here a little bit north of Richmond, Virginia, and dipole is 50 feet.
Roger. And what radio is that?
An old Kenwood TS-830S.
Roger. And what antenna system?
A dipole at 50 feet. Dipole 50 feet.
Oh, roger that. Now, in our generic tune-up procedure, we do recommend that one starts with just a token amount of compression, which is about a 3. It's nothing that you will ever hear, but it is the beginning of us trying to reach a 3 dB transmit dynamic range. Roger?
Yeah, let me take the processing off, and there she is clean right out of the gate. K4 Zulu X-ray, Mike.
Roger. Now engage the compressor at a 3. The 3 is a token amount, but it does exactly what it needs to do for us to end at the right place.
Yeah, well, let's see what she's indicating now. K4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3. I've got some pretty high peaks here. Peaking almost 10 on the really high peaks, but averaging about 2 or 3.
Roger. We're just looking for about a third of the possibilities of that compressor. Just about a third of its capabilities. Not anything grandiose, nothing that you'll ever hear, but just a 3 out of 10 or a 30 out of 100, just however your input level to the compressor reads.
So seldom. It's got dB scale on it there, and it's peaking at 10 dB compression. 1, 2, 3, about 5 when I talk, and 10 on peaks.
All right. Would you guesstimate that to be about a third of its capabilities?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's cranked up. That's more than anybody would ever want.
Yeah. Well, we don't want more than anybody ever wants. We want about a third of its capabilities.
Yeah, it'd be right in there somewhere.
Okay, and you do have a noisy pot on that input control. I just let you know that.
Okay.
All right, so after we get that compressor in there at about a 3, then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand and adjust by speaking naturally, normally into your microphone. Adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is reading mid-scale to 2/3.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's a hold and steady mid-scale.
Yes, sir. It looks to be about 3.5 dBs, thereabouts. This is, we're looking for 3. I don't know if you heard earlier, but we were talking about dynamic range. Unprocessed audio from speech is usually about 10 dB. And we want to process that and close it down to about 3 dB, which becomes an ideal dynamic range for transmit. Roger?
Beautiful. I appreciate that a lot. And with the amp on here, got a decent signal?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are 10 over most of the time. Roger?
Okay, and you've been running
Okay, so you just dropped down there very low. You were right towards my noise level, that last transmission. So I guess that's how Mother Nature's working this afternoon.
No, it's me. I've got the amp on a foot switch when I'm on this rig.
Ah, yes, okay. Now you're back up. I was wondering, but just because you dropped down 10 dB, I take that as Mother Nature,
Yeah, on 40 meters, definitely. Anything goes here.
Roger. Yeah, it sounds good, sir. I think you've got it. And if you would like to hear us, your signal, if you go to YouTube in the next couple of days, it'll take us, give us 48 hours to get it loaded up to YouTube. But if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. And on that page, you'll be looking for one in particular QSO entitled My Group Aircheck 7/24/20, which is today's date. My Group Aircheck 7/24/20. Roger?
Roger that, 7/24/20. Heard you give it to the last fella. And nice day, solid signal on this end. I didn't write down the name, son of a gun. I'm sorry.
Name here is Jim, Juliet India Mike, and we are located just across the river from Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm sure it's warm down there. You guys got your share of storms, what was it, 2 days ago?
Yes, sir. We've had some come through here, and unfortunately there was one that came up real quick in the afternoon. It must have been straight line winds of 70 miles an hour, and we do have some dead trees that's on the power right away, and we've been after Duke to take care of those for at least 2 years, and they did take down one recently, but they left 4 others, and I told them that you're going to have some problems, and the straight wind came through, and we did have one fall and did damage my 10-foot one. I have 2 twin 10-foot magnetic loops, and the one on the rotor down towards the ground got clobbered by part of that tree. Roger?
Oh, brother, I'm sorry to hear that. Very much to the repair and getting it back up, or how extensive was the damage?
Pretty bad. I'm using fiberglass support mast, and it's cracked pretty badly. It's still vertical, but it is very mushy, right back a foot past the rotor. And we used heliax, 1-inch heliax for the loop, and it is quite deformed. So I've got to figure out a nice way to update the support mast there, probably with some other material that I'll just slip that one down inside. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. I'm curious, what bands do you run the 10-foot loops on?
Oh, just this band and just this frequency. They're both set up for 7188. Roger?
Roger that. Okay, very good. Got a phaser array going there, I guess.
Well, yeah. Actually, we have a co-phase option. We have co-phase harness on them, and they come in on a 3-position selector switch that we can use one or the other or both.
Well, fantastic. Thanks again for the report, Jim. Nice job. Appreciate what you do. We'll check out that site in a couple of days. Thanks a lot, 73s, and have yourself a great day. K4 ZXM.
Roger, Don 3 Z-Way, sir. Thanks for dropping by. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, 20 minutes till 5. We turn into a pumpkin at 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, we are recording now live till 5.
We are recording now live till 5.
Okay, I'm copying about 3 stations on my local antenna. They're all right at my noise level. One was a little louder. Stations, come back and try it again. I'll get the loudest one. There's a K4 station.
There's a K4 station. Kilo 4, India Charlie.
K4, India Charlie, is that a Roger?
Or India Charlie, is that a Roger? QSL, that's correct, over.
What's the name there, sir?
What's the name there, sir?
Good evening. I just thought I'd give you what this transmitter sounded like. Got a lot of lightning crashes on my end, so it may not be able to hang in there long. Over.
Roger, what is the name there, sir?
Roger, what is the name there, sir?
It's a Harris RF5020. Harris RF5020. Over.
That's your name?
That's your name?
Negative. That's the equipment, the radio. Over.
What is your name? That's what I asked, sir.
What is your name? That's what I asked, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mike. Mike India Kilo Echo. Over.
Thank you, Mike. And now, what kind of radio are you running, sir?
What kind of radio are you running, sir?
Oh, it's a Harris RF5020. Over.
Harris. Now, is that? I'm not familiar with that brand. Harris. Now, that's not a broadcast radio, is it?
That's not a broadcast radio, is it?
Negative. It's military. I just wondered what it sounded like. I can't make a lot of adjustments on it. I did a little bit of work on it last week. Just wondering kind of how it sounded. Over.
Well, gosh, for having nothing to adjust, I think you've got it pretty close to right, Roger.
Pretty close to right, Roger.
Roger. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Over.
Roger. Dynamic range looks to be about 2.5 dB. And your equalization is very intelligible. And gosh, what more can I say? If you want to hear it, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. And you'll be looking for an Aircheck called My Group Aircheck 72420. My Group Aircheck 72420, which is today's date. Give us 48 hours to get it uploaded, Roger.
48 hours to get it uploaded, Roger.
QSL 72420. QSL.
Roger, today's date.
Roger, today's date.
All right, well, thank you very much. 7-3, and run into you later. K4IC, clear.
Roger, Mike. The only thing, and I know you probably don't have that capability, is if you had a couple of clicks more top-end EQ. I know you don't have EQ on that radio, but it would be nice if you had just a little more top-end. What mic are you running there?
And what mic are you running there?
Well, that's part of it. That's part of the issue, probably. The whole radio is designed, it's designed to operate under combat conditions. So this is a noise-canceling H250. It's called an H250. And it has to touch your lips. You have to speak directly into it. So the audio is usually pretty sharp on these mill sets. So anyway, at least it's working. Over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I wouldn't. It's close enough. Close enough for government work on a military radio.
Work on a military radio.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I'll let you pick up somebody else. Step 3.
Yeah, Mike, one other thing. Where are you, sir? What's your location?
Where are you, sir? What's your location?
I'm in Monroe, North
Roger, Mike. All right, sir. Thank you much. We'll catch you later. Sounds good. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
A radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilowatt 4, Lima.
Whiskey 9, Uniform Echo.
Whiskey 9, Uniform Echo, go.
Whiskey 9, Uniform Echo, go.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Jim, Juliet India Mike. We're located about 25 miles south of Madison. And you got a very nice signal in here. You're about 5 and 9 plus 10 to 15. So back to you, KC9 Victor Kilo Victor from W9 Uniform Echo.
Roger, Jim. Now, gosh, we got to do something about your EQ. You're terribly hot in the mids. We're just really hot in the mids. What kind of radio are you running?
Yeah, well, I've got it set up pretty much for DX operating. We're running the Yaesu FT DX101. We're also using the IHY boxes, the band equalizer, and the 2 IHY. Go ahead.
Roger, Jim. What you got it going on, sir? Thanks for checking in.
I'm sorry, I missed that comment. Say again, please.
I said thanks for checking in. You've got it exactly where you want it. You don't need any help.
Okay, appreciate it. Take care. You have a nice day. W9UE clear.
Roger. Now, just out of curiosity, if you might want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. We're running about 1,200 recorded QSO-VLOGs at the moment. You'll be looking for one in particular called My Group Aircheck 72420. My Group Aircheck. Today's date, 7/24/20, and you will be able to hear your audio, and hopefully you'll still like it.
Well, I tell you what, I can make a quick change here if I do that. That will help, and I can even probably help us some more. Go ahead.
Well, frankly, you're so thin, your EQ is so thin that you're shooting yourself in the foot. You don't have much audio there because you're so thin because of your heavy EQ in the upper mids.
Yeah, I have one too. Okay, I've got some audio, yes. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying. And I do that by desire. Because most of my contacts are DX in that reg chewing. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Well, you're looking for maximum intelligibility. Maximum intelligibility occurs when the audio is articulated in the upper mids. I mean, the upper mids, like where the syllabic range is. You want to be very articulate in those ranges, not in the mids. So you want to present as normal an equalization as you can, well-rounded, not necessarily a bunch in the bottom end, but you want to be heard in the pileup and when you're fighting somebody's noise. And the best way to do that is to be running in the bandpass of 100 to 2900. There's no reason to run your radio in other modes other than 100 to 2900, and there's no reason to be so sharp in the mids there. You want to have some syllabics there, so you have articulation. And we're talking about frequencies up in the 5-6K range, although one would say, hey, that radio doesn't pass that, but it does. It helps your articulation for a better enunciation in those upper frequencies. Roger?
Upper frequencies, Roger.
Oh, Roger, I understand. I know exactly what you're saying, and believe me, I've been doing this for many years, and I've run many tests, and of course audio reports are very subjective and difficult to get accurate ones. Now
what you're doing there with the playbacks on YouTube. That is very interesting and very helpful for, I think, many people. I've done this before with you. It's been, I think, a year back or so, but and I appreciate you doing that playback on YouTube. But I know what's going on. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Well, as you look at your audio, I'm running a spectrum analyzer simultaneous that's in the video, so you can hear, you can hear your audio and see what the area of the spectrum that you're covering, and you can see how narrow your audio EQ range is.
No, I know, and I understand that. I can see it here on my own scope. That the FTDS 101 provides me, and it's, shall we say, out of the norm, but for DS I have found it to work quite well, much better than accentuating the highs. I have a very bassy voice, and I start accentuating the highs, then you're creating stuff that doesn't exist, and that presents further problems. Go ahead.
Jim, what's your location, sir?
We're about 25 miles south of Madison.
Madison, Indiana? Madison, New York?
No, I'm sorry, Madison, Wisconsin.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, you need to pinpoint that a little bit better. I have no idea what Madison you're speaking of. Well, listen, Jim, thank you very much, sir, for dropping by. I appreciate it. You have a great day, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, likewise, you too, and appreciate the comments there, and the recording there on YouTube. So, 73s, you have a great one, and oops, excuse me there. Oh, lunch is coming up. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. But you have a great day, and thank you very much for the contact. KC9 Victor Kilo Victor from W9 Uniform Echo.
Roger, Roger, 3, sir. Have a great afternoon. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo 4, Lima, Juliet Echo.
LJE, I know that call. Give me the front of that.
Yeah, Kilowatt 4, Lima, Juliet Echo. Good afternoon, Jim. You're about an S7 to an S8. The band is changing on us down here in Carolina, over.
Roger, now you're in North Carolina, Roger.
Yes, sir. We're in the wonderful Tar Heel state of North Carolina, and we got a TR7 here that we haven't had very long, and just wonder how we're doing, over.
Oh, my goodness, from Eden on a TR7. I would have never guessed. Sounds great.
Okay, Roger. Yeah, we had it gone through. It was redone by the guy in Tennessee, WB4HFN, so we just got it back from him, and pro there to here with the old pro there to give us some critique there. I don't know if the signal is good enough or not, over.
Fine. I'm copying you on Milford at about a 10 to 12 over. Now, if it were me, I would add a little more bottom end, just a tad, but I know that radio probably doesn't have EQ. Is that a Roger?
No, but I've got some outboard EQ. But I don't know if it'll pass it or not on the bottom up. I'll try it here.
Okay, 3 clicks at 200 cycles.
Okay, that's a right much boost on the 200 cycle, but I don't know if it'll pass it. Hello, 12345 54321 KC9VKV. This is K4LJE.
Okay, now you might be just a little hot into your ALC, so if you were to pull your mic gain down, I think that might help just a tad. Do you have an ALC meter?
Do you have an ALC meter? I have a light. All I have is a blinking light. I backed off on the audio gain a little bit right there. How's about that? Hello, 12343 Listen to my radio.
Roger, sounds good. Now, what do you have? What kind of EQ are you running there? 8-band?
What kind of EQ are you running there? 8-band? It is a 7-band outboard mixer by the Mackie company, and the individual channels have a 3-band. Roger.
Okay, it's not a parametric, Roger.
It's not a parametric, Roger. No, it's not a parametric here. It's not that sophisticated.
Okay, I was just wondering there, what's your top frequency?
What's your top frequency? Okay, the very top is 12K, and the middle is 2.5, and the bottom, well, it says the bottom is 80 hertz, but on the graphic slides we've got 125, 250, 500, 1K, 2K, 4K, and 8K. That's what we got on the slides there. Over.
Okay, sounds a little, just slightly distorted in the mid-range, just very slightly distorted. What is your EQ at around 1K, between like 1.5, 1K to 800? What are your boost or cuts in there?
What are your boost or cuts in there? That's flat. That's flat right there on 1K there. I can bring that down a little bit. That's bringing it down a fair amount right there. Hello, 12345 54321. It may just be I'm driving it a little hard.
Well, gosh, Jim, we have somebody that just must be a novice. You got to tune up on an active frequency. Just can't resist tuning up on an active frequency, sir. Be kind, be nice, do not tune up on an active frequency. It's not very courteous. Back to you, Jim.
Back to you, Jim. Okay, we came down on the 1K right there, and now the activity light here on the ALC is not quite as much as it was. KC9VKV, K4LJE.
Oh, Roger, Jim. Well, what we want there in the 1K, we want that to be flat. We don't want to cut or boost 1K. We want that flat. And actually 1.5 we want flat, and 800 we want flat. And then we want to balance the bottom to the mid-range and the top to the mid-range. But we want the mid-range to be flat so the bottom can catch up and the top can catch up to balance. Roger?
Can catch up to balance. Roger? Okay, yeah. You went down a little bit right there.
About as good as we can get it. I may not be able to get away with this setup. I may have to go back to the Shure 450, which is I've got a one that's very similar to the Shure 444, which is the 450 Shure. But anyway, that's probably about as good as we're going to get there. We can back off on the distance a little.
Back off on the distance a little bit. Hello, 123454321.
That sounds really good there. Now, what I want you to do is we want to look at something around 3K. Do you have something in the 3K range?
In the 3K range? No, I go from 2K to 4K. It skips the 3K. It goes from 2K to 4K.
Roger, Roger. Okay, I want you to go 3 clicks hotter on 4K. 3 clicks hotter on 4K.
Okay, that's a little hotter on 4K. That's about what I would say is a click. It isn't graduated too much there as far as fine
there, so I had to estimate what a click was there, Roger.
Roger, probably about 2/3 of its capability. About 2/3 of its capability at 4K, Roger.
Capability at 4K, Roger. Yeah, the top end on this thing is supposed to be 2300. So you're not going to get much over 2300 out of this thing anyhow. But you can get a little bit more clarity if you do it this way. But that's probably about all it's going to get there on the 4K. It's not too far from the very top, Roger.
Roger, I think it sounds great right there. You have plenty of articulation, and you have some bottom end. Gosh, I would run with it like that, and then check it out on YouTube. We're looking at my group Aircheck 72420. Roger.
2420, Roger. Okay. Well, I made a mistake on that last adjustment. I was grabbing the 2K. I did come up with the 4K, but I was grabbing the 2K on the very last one. You say that's okay right there?
I think you sound great now. You're at what would you say your boost is at 4K?
Your boost is at 4K. It's about halfway from flat. Between flat and the very top end, it's about halfway on the 4K.
Right.
It's about 2/3 of the way from flat to the top end on the 2K, Roger.
Roger, I would punch it just a little bit more on the 4K. Maybe about half the distance that you have left. About half the distance that you have left, Roger.
Roger. Okay, there we go. K4LJE, K4 Lima, Juliet Echo. How we go?
Oh, nice. I think you like that. I think that's just perfect, Roger.
That's just perfect, Roger. Okay, well, at least that's better than the XYL will tell me there. Hi.
Roger. Well, no comment on that score.
Yeah, at least
for us to make a judgment here when we hear it. So very good. I really appreciate you hanging with me there, Jim. I thank you very much.
Roger, I copied that last on my local antenna, which is my radio is very much flatter than the SDRs, so you'll be able to hear precisely what that radio sounds like. And looking at it on the spectrum analyzer, I think it's just perfect. Not a bunch on the bottom end, and not a bunch on the top end, but very well balanced. Roger.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and really appreciate it there. And I think I got the drive about right, too. It sound like the drive is okay?
Yes, sir. 3 dB dynamic range. You're right on it.
Okay, well, good. Very much. And by the way, I hope you're doing okay. I haven't talked to you in a pretty good while now. And stay safe.
And stay safe, and I'll say 73 to you. And, oh, my gosh, it's 5 o'clock. Both of us going to turn into a pumpkin here. So, bye for now, and really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Take care up there. K4LJE.
Roger, Jim. In that last transmission, I was using the Milford PA SDR, so you'll have that and then my local radio to evaluate. So 3 is that way, man. Good to hear you. I miss. You got to check in more often. 3 is that way, Jim, and we'll catch you later. Have a great afternoon and beautiful weekend. And this is KC9VKV. Gosh, we have exceeded the speed limit. It's after 5. Oh, my Lord, we got to wrap this up. We've enjoyed it so much, and thank everybody that participated. And if you did, and you want to hear your radio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. We're running about 1,200 recorded QSO-VLOGs at the moment. You'll be looking for one in particular called My Group Aircheck 72420, which is today's date. My group Aircheck 72420. And with that, we will say threes, and we will be returning this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV clear.
VKV clear. I had a quick question before you go. W16 on you.
Hark, somebody with a quick question. Who is that?
Quick question. Who is that?
Yeah, 6 kilowatt Washington.
Okay, Kilowatt Washington something. Try again, please.
Washington something. Try again, please.
Whiskey 6 Kilo Whiskey. W6 Kentucky Whiskey.
W6 Kentucky Whiskey. What's the name?
W6 Kentucky Whiskey. What's the name?
Name is Peter.
Roger, Peter. What question do you have, sir?
Peter, what question do you have, sir?
My question is, where is the EQ adjustment on my ICOM 7800?
7800?
7800?
Yes, right.
I have no idea, sir. Do you have? I tell you what. You need to Google that. If you don't have a book, just go to Google and say we want PDF for that radio. Roger.
PDF for that radio, Roger.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. Well, I've got the transmit passband set up wide, but I can't find out where you adjust the various dynamic frequencies.
Roger. So I'll tell you what you need to find out where to go on that radio or any radio. You want to get to your mic gain. You want to get to your ALC. You want to get to your compressor, and you want to get to your EQ. So consult the book, your owner's book, or a PDF. Download a PDF and read up on that, and then make a cheat sheet. So you don't have to go back to the book again. Just make a cheat sheet of how to get to those items. Roger.
Those items, Roger.
Hello, Peter. Do you still copy, sir?
Hello, Peter. Do you still copy, sir?
Well, 1-2, I got it all.
Was that Peter?
Yes, roger that.
Oh, man, you're blowing me away on my local antenna. You're 20 over. Hello.
Yeah, hello. I got everything you said. You're about 15 over with me. I'm in the mountains of Georgia, and I've got a full-size 3-element rotary Yagi pointed at you at 100 watts.
Oh, my gosh. A beautiful signal, sir. Beautiful signal. And, even if you find those things you're looking for, you already have it set properly. It sounds beautiful.
Oh, okay. Well, then I won't bother. Maybe I will look for it, but I won't do anything. Thank you very much. I appreciate you taking a moment to pick up my question.
Roger. Yeah, your EQ sounds beautiful. Your dynamic ranges, maybe 3.5. You could be just a little bit better on dynamic range, but not enough to do anything right at the moment. Roger.
Roger that. Thank you.
Yes, sir, Peter. We'll catch you later, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. If you want to hear your radio, go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor. That'll take you to our QSO-VLOG page. You'll be looking for one Aircheck in particular. It's called My Group Aircheck 72420. Today's date, My Group Aircheck 72420. Roger?
I've got it. I've been listening to you while I've been working in the shack for about an hour, maybe 2 hours. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Beautiful signal. Threes to you, sir. And again, this is KC9VKV. We'll bid everybody adieu. Thanks for participating if you did. And we'll catch you next Friday afternoon between 3:30 and 5, all things being equal and the creeks don't rise. Right now, we'll be returning this frequency to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV clear.